Hello everyone, and welcome to the Heatwave edition of the back garden yard. Now, did you give up on your garden because of the heat wave? You shouldn't have. The garden, a lot of the plants just love it out there. Well, let's go see what we need to do during the heat wave for our garden. Let's go. Now, the first thing we're going to look at is this poor cucumber plant. Cucumber plants, they have a shelf life and then they die. And I could keep this for seeds, but I've already got some that is going to be for seeds. So I'm going to go ahead. I think I've done everything I can do for this plant, and I'm going to go ahead and take it down. Now, there's a whole row of these, and I'm going to take most of the whole row down. I'm keeping one down there at the front for a seeds. But anyway, what I came out here for was these eggplants. These eggplants, if you'll keep them watered and you'll keep them tied up, they love this heat. So let's take a look at the eggplants. So what I'm doing with the eggplants is I'm going to run a higher string down through the middle of those just to support them as they make more eggplants now, and they'll be in production mode the rest of the summer. I want to find a spot that's going to get in most of the plants. I think this is it. Okay. Okay, so I've taken care of the eggplants. Let's go see about the July garden. What's going on with the July garden? This is the new ones I planted. I've done a video on the July garden. And this is the new zucchini plant. And he's already vining. He's come out this far. He's blooming. He is looking fine. Here's another zucchini plant, and he's even got a little zucchini on him, and he's looking fine. These are two yellow squash plants, and they are doing just fine. And then we have the cucumber plants. These are the new cucumber plants, and they are doing fine. This one, as you can see, I'm trimming off the lower leaves as they get kind of blighty and not good. But anyway, they're running on up. Looks like I'll get a crop from, there's 1, 2, 3 cucumber plants here. And so I also have these tomato plants, and that's the next thing we're going to look at. Plants. And now these tomato plants came from those tomato plants right there. I got some suckers and I rooted them, and then I planted them, and then I brought them over here and put them in, and they are doing just great to make me one last late crop of tomatoes, it appears. So anyway, these are actually clones from the better boys that I have over there. So I'm going to cut the camera off, go get my tools, and I'll show you what we're going to do. So what has happened is there's the base of the plant, And as you can see, it's kind of down in a hole because it was so small when I planted it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this straw out for now. All right. And then we are going to clip off these bottom leaves here, here. These were all the leaves the plant had when I planted it. And here. Okay. Now, I'm going to get the hoe and I am going to mound dirt up around this. And you can see where I have fertilized these. So I'm going to mound dirt up around them. And then we're going to tie them up to the fence, and then we're going to re-put the straw, the mulch around them. So let's give that a try. Okay, then I'm going to take the string. What I want to do, I'm going to need a longer string, is I want to get it up off this ground, but you got a leader here, a leader here, leader here. So I want those leaders to kind of be separated so they'll grow up and make 3 different plants. Actually, I believe it would be better if I could do it over this way because I've got this other plant to do. So that's what I'm going to do, and I'll cut the camera off. I'll do both plants and then I'll cut it back on and show you how this came out. Okay, so this is how it looks. As you can see, I've got the soil mounded up here. Now, why you mound it like this is so roots will actually grow all the way up out of these stems, just like I did when I rooted them, and it's going to make the plant have a lot more nutrition. And so you mound it up, and that way then there'll be no water, will not puddle around the edge, and the plant will just take off and grow now in this July heat. So I'm going to put some mulch back around it. Mulch behind this one. I did the same thing to it. Want to get those leaves up off the ground. They can't touch the ground. And there you have it. These clone tomato plants are now tied up. This one even has its first nice set of buds and blooms, and so it's getting ready, and then it's got another set right here getting ready to bloom. So these tomato plants for a late crop are looking nice. And it seems another plant that does very well in the hot weather, the hotter the better, is okra. And I'm gonna let you look down in this okra plant. And as you can see, it's bloomed out, it's growing. I have been picking it regularly. You can see where I picked those off. And what I haven't done is trim these leaves below. So once you pick one, you should trim the leaf off. And that way then you might get some sucker branches to come out and make extra crop of okra. That's not really important with these. But anyway, this is the okra, and they are just loving this hot weather. And you have to pick this stuff about every 2 or 3 days. You can see there's one here that's almost ready. But anyway, that's enough about the okra patch. This is already chest high, and it'll end up getting about 10 or 12 feet high. I might have to actually tie it and stake it up to keep it up before it quits bearing. And then the peppers. And the pepper plants love the hot weather also. And here's bell pepper. Here's bell peppers. There's big ones ready to pick. And once again, when you get the big ones on there, you have to pick them, because as you see there's no blooms on this plant here, because he thinks he's about done. So I'll get those peppers off. This one's got some buds on it, so I've obviously picked the peppers off of it, and I have. There's no peppers on that one. Here's more bell peppers. So anyway, I think you get the picture. The peppers are doing fine in this hot weather. Then we've got the Korean peppers, and they are also loving this hot weather. And I think that's enough to show you. The only other thing I'm going to need to do is put a second row of this twine that I've got through them now to hold them up as they're getting taller. They're already over waist high, and I need to put some twine up here. Okay, and that's enough for the peppers, and we'll go look at something else now. Now let's go over and look at the old tomato plants. So these are the original Better Boy plants. Here's the base, you can see it good. Now you can see how this leader has come out. It's grown up, it's made tomatoes, but it's still very healthy up here, and it's blooming. This is my August crop that is blooming. So I've got these still to pick, and I have cut off all the dead leaves, all the yellow leaves, or most of them anyway. And so you can follow, this is the second plant, and you can follow the leaders up, and then you can see they're blooming out up here, and they've gone through, and over here it's blooming again, over here it's blooming again, and here you can see a couple little tomatoes. And this is the third plant right here, and the same thing with the leaders. They've come up, they've made a huge crop of tomatoes. I bet you I've picked 100 pounds of tomatoes off of these 6 plants already. And now I want one more crop. I want an August crop. So to get that, here's the leaders that I have tied up, and you can see there's new tomatoes that will be ripe probably in 2 or 3 weeks. And so that's what you need to do if you want to keep them blooming. Is you got to tie them up, and you got to fertilize them. You just need to get the blight off the bottom. And so here's the early girls. Then there's only 2 of these are early girls. There's 1 and there's 2. And the same thing applies with these. They're a more yellower tomato, but as you can see, the next crop is right here coming on, and they won't be as big, they won't be as pretty, but they surely will be tasty. So that's I'm gonna try to squeeze as many tomatoes as I can out of these old plants before they finally succumb. And speaking of succumbing, here's the cucumbers that I have planted for the second crop, and I have let them go to seed. So what will happen is they're going to get down here. Once that gets a little bit soft, then I'm going to go in the house and cut it open, get the seeds out, and I'll show everyone how to save cucumber seeds. That'll be a video I'll make in the future, and saving cucumber seeds. So anyway, I've got to get out here and pick these tomatoes because they are ripe and ready. I've got a storm coming that might knock them down today, and I need to get them off. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please subscribe and like, and we will see you on the next video.